Tyra.
How much do you tell your kids about sex?
I don't think that she's doing anything more than she's telling you.
I've been pretty open with her. Stay away from boys as long as you can.
Now it's time for the moment of truth.
My mom will probably be surprised of the number of guys I had sex with. She doesn't really know. It's only 8.
It's only been 8. That's not a lot. How old are you?
15.
Did you know it was this much? What else do you want to know?
Tyra starts now.
Due to the graphic nature of today's show, parental guidance is strongly suggested.
So I have a question to the parents. I want to know what you do when your 3-year-old asks you, Mommy, where do babies come from? You get all nervous and weird and like squirming in your seat. Mommy, why are you squirming? or what about when your 11-year-old son suddenly starts hiding his sheets? Junior, you got laundry? Where's your sheets? I don't know, Mom. Or what about if you suspect that your 14-year-old daughter just may be having sex? What do you say? What do you say to them? And how much do you tell your kids about sex? Now, my mama was very open, very, very open with me, you know, at a young age, you know, and about sex and anything else I had a question about. But many parents dread the talk. And they dread that talk more than anything in the world. How many parents in the audience right now are like, woo, the talk, child? I see some hands are like, oh gosh. And when to give the talk is a very polarizing topic. When, time, like what age? Now, some parents think that if you talk about sex with your kids, they'll encourage them to start doing it just by talking about it. And other parents feel that if you do not talk about sex with your kids, that your kids are going to have sex anyway, but that they're going to make mistakes because they don't have the right information. Joining me are some moms with a lot of different opinions on how to handle talking to kids about sex. So Christy has a 14-year-old, right?
Yes, Mercedes.
Mercedes. Do you talk to Mercedes about sex?
Yeah, we do. We talk about it all the time. Whenever she has a question. Lately, it's been more about my experience when I started having sex.
She asks you that?
Yes.
And what do you tell her?
Well, to tell you the truth, I was very honest with her about when I started having sex because I wanted her to know what I went through as far as that I feel that it's a little young. I think 14 is a little young.
So that's when you had sex when you were 14?
Yes.
And then you told her that?
Yes.
And how old is she?
14.
She's like, well, Mama.
If Mama can do it, I can do it.
And so is she doing it?
Well, she announced while I was driving in the car with her girlfriend, she had a couple of her girlfriends with her, that she had already done it.
Wait, in front of her friends she said that to you?
I was so upset.
And you're driving?
Yes.
Okay, so she told you that, and what did you tell her?
I told her, first of all, I was very hurt because we agreed that she was going to wait and talk to me about it first.
Got it.
Without just going through with it. And she didn't live up to what she said she was going to do.
Okay, who else thinks that their child is sexually active?
I know my daughter is.
Oh, I know my daughter is. Okay, Jennifer?
Yeah, I have a 15-year-old, Leandra. I started getting kind of suspicious when she was about 11, 12. I'd come home from work and there would be boys on the porch, boys calling on the phone, things like that. And then when she was about 13, she started getting hickeys. Things like that. I worked a lot.
She got hickeys on the neck?
And other
as
places,
young as
yes.
how old? What?
13.
Wait, you said she was 13?
13,
And
yeah.
where else did she have hickeys?
On her chest.
On her boobs?
Yes.
And she said?
She started admitting about the sex about a year and a half ago. Because I finally started talking to her and telling her, you know, you can tell me anything. I had a baby when I was 15. And I kind of started the talk out that way, telling her I don't want her to end up like that with a baby at 15.
So do you give her condoms, birth control?
Yes. I give her condoms all the time. I've given her birth control. She's taken the pills. She's not proven to be very responsible with that. And we've talked about the shot. She's kind of iffy about that. But right now I feel giving her the condoms is the most that I can do that she takes.
Tina, you have a 14-year-old.
Yes, Ashley.
Okay, yes. Tell me about Ashley and sex, and what do you think she is now?
I don't think she's having it. I hope she's not. I would like for her to wait.
How long is she? I know she's been talking about sex. Since what age?
Probably about 10. I've been pretty open with her. I told her to wait, you know, stay away from boys as long as you can, but she does have a boyfriend that she's had for about 6 months. So.
And what about condoms? Do you talk about condoms with her?
I told her that I would buy them for her. I don't want to.
I just heard a over here.
Absolutely not.
What did you go to?
Well, if you buy a child condoms, you're giving them a license to have sex. Also, a
I
condom.
don't agree with that because
That's just my opinion. Everybody gets to choose.
But
if
my
you
mom
give a
was
condom,
strict
you
with
can't
me,
prevent.
and I still got pregnant.
But with condoms won't prevent sexually transmitted diseases fully. They won't prevent the emotional damage, the emotional scarring. So giving a child a condom is not the solution.
But
teaching your child to wait until they get married or wait until they're old enough to handle the emotional.
If they refuse to wait and they're going to go out and do it anyway, I would rather have my child know she's protected.
But kids live up to your expectations.
Tell me about your kid.
My son, Roland, is 15 years old. Since we've been in our church, which I've always been in church, he's been taught purity, abstinence, and I expect that he will wait, and he's expecting now that it's a good thing to look forward to. Talking to him about sex, I pump it up. The world is pumping it up. I don't want to pretend like sex is not a good thing, but I've told him that sex is God's wedding gift to marriage. I've talked to him about waiting for his wife, that God has somebody special prepared for him, and that's going to be his gift to her and her gift to him.
If I tell my daughter no, 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 because I know how I grew up, my mom was really, really strict. I couldn't have company. I couldn't have people calling past 9 o'clock at night. I had to have certain friends, and I still got pregnant, and I still had a baby.
But you know what I heard that
I
was
think
missing?
that it's not so much that what you expect of them. Because my mom did expect that
Well, then
of me.
structure their world. You
My
said
world
you
was
get home.
structured.
You
My
said
world
get
was
home.
structured,
Okay,
and I made sure that I went out and did what I want.
And you know what, though? And those are the kinds of things you would say. I wouldn't have told my child that I started having sex at 15. I would have said, I made some mistakes. I want you to do things differently. We're all human. But I want to give you some tools so you don't have to do the same thing.
Right, and that's what I tell her. But she's 15 years old. I can't hide from her that I had her older brother when I was 15.
You know
she
what?
knows that he's there.
But I can teach him. I'm going to keep shooting for it.
So if he wants to get married when he's like 18, then you'll be all right with that.
You know what? I would hope that if he came and said, Mom, I want to get married at 18, that we could come up with a plan and convince him to wait until he graduates from college. But if he thinks he finds that special someone, let's meet the mama, let's meet the daddy, let's become a family and try to encourage them to wait.
Okay, so you're open to that.
Oh, you know what? If it
He might
happens,
be able to go. He might not be able to go much further past that age.
we have to support him. Well, yeah, honestly.
Charisse, what about you? You have how old is your daughter?
My daughter's 11, Alicia.
And what do you
And
with sex? What about her?
My daughter, actually, I feel like I was forced to talk to my daughter about sex. Because in 5th grade, at the age of 10, she came home and she told me, Mom, a boy wrote a picture, and on the picture, it showed him sticking his private area in her private area. And on the picture, it said, us.
Wow.
Wow.
So then I have that, and then I have to go with maybe 2 months later, probably not even 2 months later, a boy left a message on my machine, and I'm thinking she gave out her number to a boy or whatever, but no, a friend did. A friend told me. I talked to her and her parents. That's you're supposed to talk to the parents. And the message says, Alicia, dum-da-da-dum-dum, I want to stick my D in your P.
On the message?
On the message, on my machine.
Now, when she's also said something about, I don't know what that is. Why does the whole audience know that and I don't?
Do they know what it is? Because I didn't know what it is.
I've never heard of that.
Right. They have new stuff. They know about it.
What?
Yes. Yes.
And how old did it? I did not know that's what it is.
Yeah.
I still don't know what it is. Oh,
So in the 5th grade, they said that to your daughter?
Yeah, they say it now. The kids.
Do you guys know what it is?
I didn't tell. She told me.
Do you know what it is?
I do
know what it is now?
I do know now.
Everybody knows what it is now?
That's gonna make mother stop drinking tea.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm like, Earl Grey? No way, child. Okay,
So you
so
forced.
Did you tell her what it was?
I told her what I thought it was, and she said no. They said it's when you dip. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, this is what you're talking about, and I have to talk. So she started asking me questions.
Now, she asked you if sex feels good. What'd you say?
She asked me if sex feels good. She says, because when her friends talk about it at school, it sounds dirty. And I told her, yes, sex does feel good, but when it's between a man and a woman that's mature and they love each other, your mommy and your daddy, I said, that's how you got here. But you should not be.
Does she go to school with like much older children, or is it all? Is it middle school?
She's in the 6th grade.
Oh, so it's middle school.
It's middle school.
It's middle school.
Yes.
Do you guys think your kids tell you everything that they do?
No.
Do you think they're doing stuff? Do you think they're doing more than you think they are? Do you think you know as much as your daughter knows?
I think so.
You think you know
I think she probably knows more than I do. I don't think that she's doing anything more than she's telling me.
What
She's
about
pretty
you,
open now.
Tina?
I really structure Ashley. I try and bring her friends to our house. I keep her pretty close to me.
What about
she
you
doesn't
guys?
have
You think
free
you know?
time.
I have to know who she's with. She can't go to a birthday party unless it's an invitation. I have to meet the parents. I spend time with my kids.
Well, we're going to meet the kids when we come back. We'll be right back.
Up next, what your teens are not telling you.
If I had a guess of the guy